So say I wanted to flash back to the 60s, I could come here and listen to some music. Okay. Turn that back down. Alright, so we also have Wi-Fi and voice activation technology. These are now common in new vehicles. I'm going to demonstrate some voice technology here. Navigation.
Navigation.
Enter address.
Please say the house number in single digits followed by the street, the city, and the state.
2507 North Street, Endicott, New York.
Processing your input. Did you mean 2507 North Street, Endicott?
Yes.
Please repeat.
Yes.
Start guidance or add as another destination.
Start guidance.
Route guidance started.
So now with just my voice, I can change my destination as I'm driving. There's no need to actually pull over. I can route an entire destination here. I can also use voice commands to change radio stations and pull up my other entertainment options. So that does make it a safe feature while I'm driving to just use my voice for that. Okay, and we're going to go on to the next slide now. Car phones. So we're going back a little bit in the past again. Let's talk about car phones for a moment. They were first introduced in 1946, believe it or not, when a driver actually took an earpiece from under his console and made a call. We don't know what the call was about, or if you do more research, I'm sure you can find it out on the internet, but that's very interesting to note that that was more than 60 years ago. First wireless service was actually created by AT&T, and this service was provided within 100 cities and on various highway areas. Mostly news personnel and other officials were using this service at first. Okay, we're going to go on to the next slide now. Other forms of technology in cars include power steering. As you can see here, my car has power steering and it has a great brake system. It actually has something called brake drying. So if it recognizes that it's raining outside, it will dry the brakes for me. So that's a safety feature there. It also has an idiot light that would come up on the dash. That's if service was due. Now I can also come into my iDrive system and see when my service might be due. I'm going to come down here to vehicle info, and I'm going to come up here to vehicle status, and now I can see a computer system that's going to tell me if my air pressure is low on any of my tires. I'm going to be able to measure the engine oil system from inside the vehicle, and I can also see what service is required. So this is the modern version of a dummy light. So I can see my engine is going to be due in another 3,100 miles, brake fluid is going to be due in 2017, and I can scroll through and see my different options there. So that's today's version of the dummy light that used to come up on the dash of the car. I also have cruise control, which is located on this car right on the steering wheel. So I can come right over here and activate my cruise. I can set my cruise control, I can resume it, and I can actually use this button to toggle up and down in speed by 2 to 3 miles an hour. BMW also has a feature that is called active cruise control, and what that does is it allows you to set your speed warning a little bit better, so it'll actually slow you down immediately if you're about to be in a disastrous situation. We also have backup cameras, and I will roll that video in a moment for you of me at my BMW Center demonstrating the backup camera. So I will go through that in a moment. Most vehicles are equipped with the backup camera. Now we're finding that that is a popular feature, and right now I'm going to demonstrate how to activate the backup camera in a 2015 BMW X3. I'm going to start by putting the car in reverse. As you can see, then the camera comes on along with the parking sensors. The sensors will flash red if you're getting within 12 inches of an object, if you're getting too close to that object. So right now I'm just going to put it in reverse and demonstrate how that camera would work. So there's aid lines here that demonstrate the width of the car. And again, the parking sensors, if I'm getting too close to an object, it'll tell me right here. And then once I put it in park, I can then take a look at the camera here and change the brightness of the image. I can also adjust the contrast here of the camera. I can take away the aid lines or add them back. And I can also remove an obstacle marker. In 2002, Bluetooth had hand-free voice technology with advanced voice integration features. In our earlier BMWs, the voice technology system is rough and it's very hard for the voice system to understand what you're saying. Now, as I demonstrated to you, it's so easy to use. By 2003, we also had more integrated phone systems with Bluetooth. Then in 2007, the first multimedia handset integration was introduced, so then we were starting to see plugins for your iPod music and things like that. By 2009, we had fully integrated mobile navigation system. So at that point, you could find points of interest, so the navigation was fully interactive. In 2010, we had 3G multimedia car entertainment systems that were introduced, and in 2011, telematics and infotainment systems were introduced as well. So we've come a long way in just the past couple of years. Now, I'd also like to take a moment and talk about car emergency systems. So General Motors did lead the way with the invention of the OnStar system, which I'm sure we've all heard about that. Then other car manufacturers started to follow suit. They realized that car emergency systems were vital and customers wanted to have those in the vehicles. They include systems such as Mercedes Embrace, Lexus Enforum, and our very own BMW Assist. These systems include connectivity, navigation, and diagnostic analysis. We're going to go on to the next slide now, and I'm going to talk about what is BMW Assist. It is an emergency system located in about 90% of our new vehicles. I'm going to show you where this button is located. It's right here. So I can pop this button down and I can actually press here and make a phone call. So if I'm in an emergency, something's happened, I can simply press that button in there. And that's going to send a call right to our call center, which is located in Texas. And also, if I'm in an accident and the airbags go off here, a call will automatically be sent to a BMW team member, and then he or she will automatically come into the car with the system, the Bluetooth system, ask if I'm okay. If I do not respond, help will be sent to me, so an ambulance will arrive on location, and that's because I have the navigation system, so there's location services inside the vehicle. Okay, we're going to go on to the next slide now. So I mentioned the SOS button. That's the button that I can use to call for help. And this is beneficial because not everyone has cell phones today. I've actually worked with several people. I work at a BMW center. They don't have cell phones. So if they're in an emergency, they can press the button and get help right away. On new models, so BMW offers this feature at no charge for the first 4 years, unlimited miles. So that comes with the vehicle. Afterwards, it's going to be $199 a year. And on used cars, the customer gets the benefit of having the remaining balance of the BMW Assist for the next few years there. Going to go on to the next slide. So other features that are now seen in cars, according to Edmunds.com, include automatic collision notification. So our center would receive a notification if someone's in an accident. We have concierge services, so that's actually an upgrade to BMW Assist. For an extra $200 a year, you can have BMW actually make hotel reservations, flight reservations for you, and act as a concierge service. We also have customer relations, which is located right inside the iDrive here again. So I'm coming down to connected drive, and these are my options. I have my roadside assist here, so I can activate to send for help to have the vehicle towed. BMW Online again, customer relations, and I can also send for a service request to the closest BMW center. Okay, we also have something called a fuel price finder, which is located inside the iDrive as well. I'm going to come back to Connected Drive BMW Online, and it's going to load here. I'm going to come to Applications here. I'm going to show you how this works as it's loading. This is great because you can use this as you're traveling. So I'm going to do a fuel price search. I'm going to give it a moment to load here. And I can modify my search criteria. It's still loading. So I can come down here and modify criteria, and I want premium gas for my car, or maybe I have a diesel car, I want to look for that. And I can come over here and see where the lowest prices are based on the type of gas that I need. And then say I want to go to this one. It tells me how far away it is, and I can guide myself right there using this system and the navigation. So we also have hands-free calling that I touched on. Points of interest search. This is really interesting. I'm going to show you this under navigation. I'm going to go over here under points of interest, and then I can do an A to Z search, online search, category, fuel stations. I can find the closest service center. I'm going to do a category search today. I can look at the current location or along the route and say I want to look for something car related. I can come right here, BMW service, and there's the closest service center to me. And then I can actually make a hands-free call right here since my Bluetooth connection is hooked up using my phone. So that makes it a lot safer to drive there. Okay, we also have remote door unlock, which I talked about. You can call BMW and have them unlock the car for you if you lock your keys in the car. We have roadside assist, which is included on this particular vehicle for the first 4 years of ownership. I also have a system where I can send navigation right to the car. I can do that using Google Maps. I can log into Google, type in the type of car I have, and send the destination right to my vehicle. I can also look up sport and news information, so I can find that again under BMW Online. This vehicle also has stolen vehicle recovery, so with the navigation system, if the vehicle is stolen, I would report that to the police and they can help track it down using the navigation system. I also have traffic information, weather information, and so much more. Going to move on to the next slide now. So what does this mean for car companies? We have seen that GM's OnStar has created a profit margin and it's become a superstar in its own category. They're making a lot of money on this particular product. AT&T is now partnering with GM to make 4G LTE high-speed internet available in vehicles. So that's going to be a big deal for drivers now. This will allow offerings such as apps, streaming entertainment, and so much more. In 2014, Apple also announced CarPlay technology in cars such as Ferrari, Mercedes-Benz, and Volvos. What this does is it creates a touchscreen technology, and basically if you have an iPhone 5 or better technology, you can see everything up on your screen and touch it just like it's your phone. So that is going to be a big deal for, I'm sure, many other cars in the near future. We're going to move on to the next slide now. Let's talk about safety features for a moment. In-vehicle display systems provide visible information to the surrounding environment. So these systems would include the backup camera and parking sensors. My car does not have that technology, but I did get a video that I played for you that has that technology and shows you the backup camera and the sensors there. So as of 2015, backup cameras are not standard on BMWs. We've had many customers ask why not. It's just something that we aren't doing as of now. I've heard that next year that will be something that will need to be included in the car. These features are high in demand because it's a safety feature. If you're using a backup camera, you have greater visibility than if you're using your own eyes. Okay, and we're going to move on to the next slide. So vehicles are now very connected. Auto manufacturers considered new cars as connected vehicles. If you have a new car, you want to see the technology in that car that's fully integrated there. These cars are using cellular and satellite networks, and they're being analyzed by the U.S. Department of Transportation to confirm vehicle-to-vehicle safety applications, so communication from one vehicle to the next on the road. GM, Ford, BMW, Lexus, and other companies are paving the way for this technology. And why are they doing this? Because younger consumers are demanding that they have technology inside the vehicle. It's now more important than ever. This is the demographic that's now going to be buying more vehicles. We're going to move on to the next slide now. Mobile internet inside cars. So mobile internet is made possible by network